Hi everyone, it's Alex here of the Mad Cartographer slash the Mad Network, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a walkthrough of our downtown's Foundry VTT content. Not had a chance to put this video together yet to demonstrate just exactly what we're doing in Foundry at the moment. All these maps that we're about to showcase are already available through my airbridge, whether you are using Foundry and you can get the WebPs, whether you use Roll20, whether you use any other VTT, or whether you use the print. These are all available in both a tile format and then individual PNG buildings, so that you can build your own maps using many of our wonderful assets that are also available. So in Foundry VTT, we have everything made as a scene, and so we've got them as defaults. We have different versions. We've got street versions which have the hard built-in rooftops. We then have some blank versions which have nothing in the buildings, and we also have rooftop versions. So with the tiles, let's have a look what we've got here. So we've got the normal scene, and if we place down our little guy, you can see that when we're in there, we've done some terrain walling around the different buildings. So you can use this just as a normal scene, a normal map, if you've got something very specific that this encounter, this map will be ideal for just that encounter. There's a little bit of an overview, because we've obviously got a lot of rooftop assets that don't have an interior. You can see these are denoted by the little white door icon. Our urban exteriors pack, there were no interiors, so they're all white doors. However, we're kind of going to be retiring that slowly in favour of this downtown pack. So the ones with green doors mean that it's a dynamic building, means that you can actually go inside. So that's what we've got in here. I just noticed actually, that should probably be a window. I have to get that changed at some point. Because the problem is that when we change one wall, we have to change it on the map, on the tile, and then on the actual building itself. So yes, we've got quite a few of them. We've got them all broken up into civic scenes, commercial scenes, and residential scenes. So we can, let's go on to this one. So we've got this one as a single floor. So you can kind of go around, go in, and then single floor. Because not everybody wants to use the levels module, we've made sure that our multi-floored maps in Foundry also have a single floor version where you don't rely on levels. But here is levels version. Then there's a nighttime version. Okay. No, just showing oddly. Okay, so again, walking around, these are all walled off. You can change the height of your character to be able to go on top of these if you wanted to. But otherwise, we can go around these different areas. This has got a blank upstairs. There is a decorated upstairs as well. So we've kind of done a few options for everybody. Like I said, we've got blanks, we've got fully decorated, and then we've got solid rooftops where you don't have the interiors at all. So we've got a poor house, and we've got middle class houses, a baker's building, herbalist shop. Let's check out the herbalist shop. You will have seen this originally in our Dreaded Domains theme. This was our Van Richten's herbalist shop, but we have kind of put it into a tile as well. So it's one that you can now place. Yeah, you can kind of place it. So let's go into the tiles and buildings. 1 second. So these are all on the normal scenes, which you're probably used to using. We are going to load up a background, and then we go into the actors. Now in the actors, this lets us use token attacher. This lets us place tiles and rotate them around or place individual buildings. So we'll show some of the tiles first. Again, it's the same scenes that we've got down there. So we've got our mid-house tile, and you can move this around with this little cog. You can rotate it, and as ever, it's going to rotate those walls with it. So this is just the exterior one. If we go with mid-house 2, this is our 2-floor, and you can see that this, no, it's not, this isn't 2-floor. I'm not sure where the 2-floor is. So this is our tileable one, and again, rotatable, movable, and you can build up your own scenes. Let's go in a blacksmith, not the blacksmith, exterior. Let's go for, yeah, normal blacksmith. And they are somewhat seamless with these tiles where they join. There's a little bit of a lag. Getting a seamless tile that's that joins on all corners is tricky. The other thing we have to change, because the way we export our maps, it does it as a macro, so it like batch updates everything. And with our Foundry content, we always have these little, well, with our VTT content, we always have these little subtle watermarks in the top left, which allow people to kind of know what the scale of the map is if there's no grid. Not necessarily a problem for Foundry VTT though, because all our content is already put in there. The problem we've now realized is that with certain orientations, you can end up with so many of these things gathered together. Now, you could just throw an asset on top of that. You could throw a building on top of that if you wanted to cover it up. But it's not ideal, and we're well aware of that. So we are looking to re-export the images without the watermark on for the Foundry content, and just so that we've not got that messy watermark. But this is an ongoing theme, and we're going to be adding more buildings over different months, and so you know, there will be updates and tweaks and things like that, because there's so much content with this pack, and it is only available through Patreon. This is never going to be sold on the shop. So if you want the new buildings every month and you want the updates, then you need to be a patron of the Mad Cartographer. So we'll keep adding stuff, we'll keep doing tweaks, because there's that much stuff with levels and better roofs and token attacher, and there's that many moving parts on this that it's very easy to get things wrong. So there's always going to be fixes that we're keeping on top of. But yeah, so we've got this this big warehouse building, and let's throw down a last one. I don't know if this tile, okay, so the tile isn't walled. Let's wall off the scene. There we go. And then we'll place down our last tile, and let's go for the bakery. Sure. Yeah. Again, you can choose which way we think that should be oriented. I think that's going to look better. That's a little bit of a commercial area, so we've got like a little bit of a poor area next to the blacksmith. And then when we place down our character, you've got this full city that is kind of like pre-made for you. So you've got all these buildings that don't have interiors, but then we've got the ones that do. And then we can go and check out the blacksmith shop. That's fine. You can actually see inside that building at the moment. When you've placed the tiles as the DM, you're going to want to refresh the fog of war, so that everything isn't visible straight inside it. We can go and check inside bakery. We can see these little cogs, but the players can't. They are invisible. And then you've got little areas like this where you can multiple ways in and out. Just notice that this actually here is supposed to be a basement, there is actually a basement tile, so it doesn't look like it's attached to this one. Like I said, there's that many moving parts. We just kind of like notice little things when we start testing them more thoroughly. But if you folks notice some stuff, let us know in the Discord. We've got an errors channel now for letting us know when this kind of stuff isn't working. Fairly sure that that's not invisible. Yeah. So it's worth yeah, just let us know. We do have some interactive stuff where this will take you up 10 feet. And then if you went up another 20 feet, oh, was it 30 feet? 30 feet, there you go. You're then on top of the rafters in this building, so then you can see pretty much all across it. So you can kind of like be sneaking above the rooms and stuff like that. And then I'm presuming 40 feet? Or is it another 20 feet? This is a big building. God, how big is it? Okay, I don't think the rooftop's been done properly on this one. Okay. I think the rooftop must have been set to infinity. You should be able to climb on the rooftop. But anyway, again, just some tweaks that need doing. So you've got the tiles, which we can, like I said, we can quickly select. We can quickly remove them. So you can build your own scenes. You can build them as you go. If you're kind of like in your player decide they want to suddenly do something, you can quickly throw down these tiles so you've got some pre-built stuff. Alternatively, you can place down the individual buildings, and again, all the ones that we've got we can place down. And we've got blank versions, and then decorated versions as well. So we've got, and there we've got our church. Let's see how this one's looking. This one's given Harrison nothing but problems. And it looks like there's still some problems with it. Oh, that's the blank one. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Let's reset. Cool. Now we've actually got a church shop. So you can go in, a bunch of different rooms. Like I said, there are blank versions of this, so if you've got a particular deity, then you can add in your own assets into this map. This one was absolutely the bane of Harrison's life, but this takes you up onto the next floor. You can kind of climb down these chandeliers, and then we go up to the last bit, and you can go up to the bell tower, and then you're in this upper area. If we open up there we go, and then we're on the roof. So that's what's supposed to happen on the warehouse one, but it looks like the height of the roof hasn't been set, so it's like we don't know where you need to go to get on top of this roof. But again, we'll fix that. We've got a lot of stuff to be adding in, so we'll do a final push, pick up on some of these stuff. So if you are using Foundry content, if you want to check through this, do some test runs, see what doesn't look right, and then if you pick it up, then we can make the change. But yeah, we've got a whole bunch of buildings. Some of them, these you'll have seen from the old towns and cities. That has been retired now, because it was problematic in itself. So it was easier for us to remake the module. What was in towns and cities still works if you have the old JSON, but everything's now been switched over to being in the downtown pack. So those are our civic buildings, commercial buildings. Well, so we've got a small warehouse. There you go. Lots of cool stuff. Residential buildings, and yeah, so that's what we've currently got. Now for the next push that I think is going to be going out this week, I've got to do some tweaks on the maps, because these are what Team Mad have made. So we've got a bunch of artists making stuff with us at the moment. So let me see. There we go, cool. So here's some of the new stuff that's going to be coming out. We have just a general store that's been made by Crane from Stained Carbon. So it's just kind of like, it's a mundane store. It just sells backpacks and adventuring supplies and things like that. However, it's got a downstairs, So you've got this little basement area where there's storage, but then there's like a secret kill room at the back. Now you can box that off if you're the DM and you don't want people going in it, but otherwise it's like a little bit of a everything's very mundane in this mundane store. But no, it's something real bad going on in the back. And there's also an upstairs on this that he's currently working on. So this is actually a 3-level general store, which has got a living area upstairs. Luca Locke has done a prison. So you got this little prison area with these different wings, and there's an oubliette there. If you don't know what an oubliette, it's like basically a hole in the ground that you can't lie down in, and people just got dropped into this hole and left there. It's kind of like solitary confinement, but underground and gross. So again, a couple of tweaks on the map. Basically, for the most part, people are building the majority of the map, getting it to like 95%, and then I just come in and do a few little extra tweaks to kind of make it look a little bit more consistent with each other. When you've got that many people making stuff, it's very hard for everybody to make stuff that looks the same. So that's kind of my job, where I kind of like to pull everything into a very particular style. There's an upstairs on this, and there's a little ladder there which takes you into like an upper guard tower, which looks over the rooftop and looks beyond the city. We've got a courthouse. I think there's like part of a courthouse in here, like, or at least where they're going to get documented, I guess, when they're being put in the prison, being registered. So this is from Mark Drummond. This is a larger courthouse. So we've got some upstairs areas that take you to this upper balcony, and you can kind of look, and then you've got an area for deliberation, for if it's got a court, it's not just got a judge. So I've got a little cell down there on this area. So some cool shenanigans for breaking in and out of a courthouse if you've not quite made it to prison yet, which I think will be cool. Early days on this one, there's going to be hopefully a set of... Zach's unfortunately had some stuff that's come up, but Zach's doing us a set of 3 different gardens. So, tileable gardens, like some little ornamental noble areas, just to kind of like fluff out some more upmarket areas. There's going to be a little set of those. We've got an amazing tavern that's been made by Connor from Chibbing Grove. And so this is a 2-story tavern, because we've got the loot tavern that we made, but it's like a big flying astral tavern with a telescope. So this is the first time in like 2.5 years we finally got a normal tavern. That's how long it's taken us to get here. And again, we've got this upstairs area that leads to like an inn area. So you've got this little landlord's area, their living space. And then this is it from outside. So this is the finished tile. So you've got like a little garden area outside, which is pretty cute. I think that'll be nice. And then he's already made that one. The final one that he's still kind of in the process of making, but I think he's like ready for wrapping up. This is a 4-tier noble's house. So it's got this like glass conservatory. It's got a shed outside. It's got the upstairs area. I think it's got a basement / servants' living quarters, which he's currently doing, and then he's doing an attic as well. So this is quite a big board. There's a couple of things on here that kind of like need some little tweaks here and there. I just noticed he's done a snooker table. I hadn't seen that before. That's great. So these are some of the extra tiles and buildings that are going to be coming out hopefully this week. But at least within the end of the theme. There's just so many things that are going on at the moment that poor Harrison has got a hell of a lot of work, and I've got a hell of a lot of work to actually kind of get these maps and tiles prepared for getting them into Foundry. And then finally, something that I'm going to be working on as well, which is going to be part of the Downtown's theme. I'm not sure how extensive this is going to be. at least to start with. It might be something I have to kind of pick away at, but I'm going to be doing an underground sewers modular tile set. Nothing groundbreaking, just very useful and utilitarian, I think. But this is kind of more of a this is on the wish list that I get this finished, because there's just a bunch of other things, namely Crucible at the moment. But we do have a Crucible adventure that is coming to the All the Things tier patrons, and then a Crucible map, which is actually a sewers map, so it kind of ties in well to this Downtowns theme, and it will be exclusive for this month. It'll be available as a standalone PDF and Foundry adventure as well, and that is the Forgotten Sewers that is coming to issue 2 of Crucible, which should be out this week. There's a lot of stuff that should be out this week, that's why I'm heavily emphasizing the should. But there you go, so that's what we've got, that's where we're at with the theme. We've got about 50 blank buildings that we haven't used, and so we're going to be slowly over the month adding them to this theme. So once we've kind of pulled a bunch of the blanks to one side and they're ready for being filled, there's still a lot of prep that needs to be done on them. We'll be asking you folks, we'll be asking on the Discord, you know, what buildings do you still want to see? You know, what would you like to see more of? Do we want more noble buildings? Do we want more kind of poor houses and things like that? But yeah, so it's an ongoing theme. We've got, and I shouldn't miss it out because there's no artwork yet, but Sean from Major Noir, who's also on Team Mad, he is currently doing, it's either a magic shop or a potion shop. I'm not entirely sure which one he's settled on doing, but he's going to be working on that. So again, we've got like 2 weeks for all this stuff to come out, and then I think it's going to be a fairly well-rounded set with about 20 buildings in it, and hopefully a bunch of modular sewer tiles as well. There you go. So let us know what you think. Give us any feedback. If you are using Foundry, then you spot any errors, then please get into the Discord, let us know about them, and we'll fix them as quickly as possible. But yeah, there you go. Thanks a lot for watching, and as ever, keep rolling those 20s, folks. Peace.